Rafam had a dream, so he cooked up a scheme to take over Dalaran. But the plan fell apart. Oh well, back to the start. Now we're back and evil again. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Miniset Miracles, a series where I go back to every Hearthstone expansion that doesn't have a miniset and make my own. In today's episode, we'll be covering the miniset I made for Rise of Shadows. Rise of Shadows told us about the League of Evil and their plan to take over Dalaran. Well, in this miniset, the League of Evil is back, and they're gonna try to take over Dalaran again. But Dalaran has some new defenders since last time, like Altruis the Sufferer for Demon Hunter.
You're no demon, but I'll put you in the ground just the same.
Altruis is a 5-mana 4/2 legendary minion, and he has a battle cry that will reduce the cost of your left and rightmost cards by 1. But if you trigger his Outcast effect, he will reduce the cost of your future left and rightmost cards too, for the rest of the game. This is meant to be a new spin on the old Altruis that still interacts with your left and rightmost cards, but in a new way. These two cards would also be really strong if you manage to get them out together. Now is probably also a good time to mention that these cards all follow a specific rule set, as you can see here. But enough about that, let's see what else are in store for us. Rise of Shadows split all of Hearthstone's classes into two groups, the good guys and bad guys if you will. For this series, I've decided to make Demon Hunter join the good guys and Death Knight join the League of Evil, aka the bad guys. For the good guys, Blizzard introduced a new keyword Twin Spell. Spells with this keyword could be cast twice. In this miniset, I decided to reverse the roles, so I made a couple of cards with Twin Spell for the classes that are part of the Evil team. The Evil team did not get a new keyword. Instead, each class got a card that called back to mechanics in earlier expansions where the characters had been present. Well, all of them except for Warlock. Warlock's character Rafam was introduced in the League of Explorers adventure, so I made this card for Warlock that calls back to a mechanic from that set.
Die, fleshling!
Safina Lesser Evil is a 4-mana 3/4 legendary minion for Warlock, and after a friendly minion dies while she's on the battlefield, she will give your opponent a cursed card. This was a token from League of Explorers that deals 2 damage to your opponent at the start of their turn while it's in their hand. Safina will also summon a 1/1 imp with Rush, so you can start generating some curses. For the Evil team, Blizzard also introduced the Lackey mechanic, which were 1-cost token minions that could be generated by several cards. I've made this new Lackey for the miniset. Underbelly Lackey is a 1-mana 1/1 token minion with a battle cry, like all lackeys, but Underbelly Lackey's battle cry will copy a random spell in your hand. And just like the other lackeys, this card can be randomly generated by cards that give you lackeys. I also decided to flip the script once more, so I made a couple lackey generating cards for the good classes, as well as these two for the Evil team. I even made this neutral legendary, Co-Conspirator Qua.
I'll enjoy killing you!
Qua is a 5-mana 6/4 legendary minion with lifesteal and rush. She also has a death rattle that says the next time you summon a lackey, summon this instead. This means that once you play your next lackey, it will trigger its battle cry and then it will get transformed into this 6/4 minion with lifesteal and rush. And then when she dies again, the cycle will begin anew.
Time and double pay!
I also made this neutral epic card that interacts with your lackeys. Hench Giant is an 8-mana 8/8 minion and it will cost 1 less for each lackey you play this game. Rise of Shadows also introduced a third mechanic for the Evil team, the Scheme cards. These were spells that would upgrade at the end of each turn they're in your hand. I once again changed things up and made a few Scheme spells for the good team. The last card I made is the final legendary of the set, Archmage Modera.
Witness the power of an Archmage.
Modera is a 4-mana 3/6 neutral legendary minion, and when you play her, she will cost any spell you cast to reduce the cost of future copies of that spell by 1 for the rest of the game. And this effect will stack. What this means is that whenever you cast a spell, all your future spells with the same name will cost 1 less, and when you cast your next copy, future versions will cost 2 less, and so on. This effect works really well alongside cards with Twin Spell, since the second cast of the spell will now get cheaper. Okay, that's it for this episode, guys. The next few weeks will only be new episodes of Mini-Set Miracles, but I don't imagine you guys will be too upset about that. But more about that in the next videos. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next episode of Mini-Set Miracles. Until then, see ya!